Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Shantell Bancroft here, fashion designer and owner of theurbantiger.com. In today's video, I'm going to be talking about rejection, and in particular a moment where I was rejected by a retailer, and this moment really shook me, and so I thought this will be perfect to share with other people who other designers who have either gone through this situation or has faced some rejection in the past in regards to their business, or anything that you've tried to do and you've just been like hit with a brick wall as a designer. Hopefully this video will kind of make you realize that you're not alone, and you can survive from it. So I'm gonna take you back to 2018. It's August, and if you've watched my previous video, then this is the next bit on in the story. I'll put a link up in the description, somewhere in this video. I'll put a link up so you can see their previous video. So this is the next bit on in the story. So this is where you find me. I've sent off 15 postcards to 15 different boutiques, a couple in the USA, one in Italy, and the rest in the UK. And I am feeling funky, feeling pretty confident with myself. Pretty confident. I sent out all my postcards and I'm vibing. I'm like, yeah, I've got this nervous shit under control. I can do this. And so I know I have to do my follow-up emails, which after you've sent out your postcards, at some point you have to make a formal submission. That's the next bit. So I know it's good practice to find the name of the person who is responsible for purchasing for that store. It just looks better. It comes across as being a more professional. It kind of gives the perception, which is what you want to give off, that you took time and put effort in to find out the name of the person who is purchasing for the store. It says something about you. It's that first kind of relationship step that says, no, I really want you to carry my brand. I didn't just pick you out of a hat. I did some research. I found you. Here I am. Let's possibly do business. So I had names for certain stores that I wanted to do my follow-up for, but there was a couple of stores I didn't have names for. So I composed this little piece of text, and it was just a way for me to, it didn't say much in it. It just said something like, hey, I'm Shantell and I want to make a formal submission to your store. Can you tell me how you like to receive submissions, and can you give me the name of the buyer? And I plopped that into an Instagram post for one of the stores, just for one of the stores that I wanted to do a follow-up for, with the thinking that I was going to contact several other stores that way to get names. So this video was what happened after I sent that little direct message to the store. To think about it, when I think about it and I see how far I've grown, it's still difficult for me to kind of like watch it and not feel sorry for me, but I've come a long way, and this is the kind of stuff that I want to share in order to build a community of people who feel that they have someone else who understands what they're going through. So I'm gonna let you watch this video, take you back to 2018 August, and then I'll check in with you after it's done, and we can talk about what I went through. Okay, enjoy. Hey, it's Thursday, the 2nd of July 2018, I can still feel this, like, still feel this burning in my chest. And I'm super, like, trying not to be disappointed, but it's hard not to. So I got rejected by a retailer, and I wasn't prepared for the way in which the rejection occurred, and it threw me for a loop. And I'm just a little well, I tell you, I'm recording this now because if I don't record it now, I'm not going to want to talk about it, because I am disappointed, and the more I keep talking about it, the more the disappointment keeps overshadowing all the other positives to come out of that. So I'm recording this now so that I can look back at it and see my growth at some point when it's not burning me so much. Remember when I took you guys with me to post out the first set of postcards to retailers? If you don't, you can watch that video. I'll put one of the cards up. I'll put a link in the video up here somewhere, so you can go watch that video. So I sent those out, right? And then a few weeks on, I did, probably like 2 weeks on, I did the second set of postcard mailing. And this time, a few of them, I had sent a couple to the US, one to Canada, one to Rome, and about 5 or 6 to other stores in the UK that were the remaining stores on my list that I hadn't sent postcards to. And because they were being sent internationally, I had to give them at least a week to arrive to their destination, and then another couple of weeks, 3 weeks before doing a formal email designer submission via email. So I did that. Sent my first batch, waited, sent my second batch, waited. So while the second batch was making its way to different parts of the UK and different parts of the world, and to stores in the UK, I decided that it would be a great time to start hitting up the first set of retailers that I sent the first set of postcards to in that previous video. So I'm following a course called How to Sell Your Goods Wholesale Retail. It's a course I bought on Creative Live, and it's hosted by a lady called Megan Allman. She's a jewelry designer. She's got many courses on there, and this is basically how to reach out to wholesalers to sell your goods, right? It's a very good course. I've been using it. I've used it all the way through from figuring out how to price my products all the way through to doing my line sheets. It's basically my Bible. I'm using that as my source of inspiration. So, oh, the lights just changed. I'm looking a little... Oh, in the course, she suggests as a way of kind of making first or second contact with the retailers after posting out the postcards is maybe to go on Instagram and just like, you know, comment, and then after one of the comments just say, hey, sent you a postcard, did you get it? So I thought that was a really good idea, and her thinking was that's where these people, at least people in the smaller stores, are spending most of their time, so it's where you're going to reach them. And I was like, cool, that makes a lot of sense. So I did that. I chose 1 or 2 stores, maybe 3 or 4, and I went onto Instagram. I followed them because I wanted to be able to keep up to date with what they were doing. And I just put, hey, hey, sent a postcard to you from us, hope it reached you safely. Sent that to 4, maybe 3 or 4 retailers. Did I hear anything back? No. Crickets. So I'm like, okay, people are busy, you know, it's just so, I mean, you can't knock that idea, you gotta try it again, right? So, so I did that and heard crickets. And then I left it for a little while. I left it for another couple of weeks. And by that time, it had been probably maybe 2 or 3 weeks since the second set of, I had mailed the second set, right? So I left a 3-week gap, enough to give the time for the postcards to actually reach their destination. Okay, then I had the bright idea. Then I was like, cool, it's reached them. So then I sat down one day, or maybe a couple days ago, and just composed an email template based on what I learned in the course, the same course I told you about. But I just kind of rearranged it to be a little bit more urban tigery, to sound like me. So I wanted to create a template that I could go back to every single time I would do a formal designer submission. So I wouldn't have to kind of recreate it in my head. I'd have a template there. So I did all that. I selected about 7 stores that I was actually going to do this email, formal email submission to. But I didn't have a contact name. I had an email address, but I had no contact name to send the email to. And I know how important it is. Excuse me. I know how important it is to, you know, go a little bit further and get a name to send the email to. So I thought, why not use the same philosophy? You know, if we can contact them through Instagram to say, hey, did you receive the postcard? Why not do it to get the contact name? It's quicker. They'll see it. So I did that. So I composed a little message, and I direct messaged like one of the stores I particularly want to stock Urban Tiger goods. Really want to stock them. I had written out their email submission first. It's sitting there ready to go. It just needs a name. So I contact them. I DM them. And because on their profile, on their Instagram page, it literally says DM me for inquiries or for purchasing any of these goods. So I was like, they want it. They want you to get in touch with them this way. I'm going to do it. So I did. I sent a little text message, a little Instagram DM. And I just said, hey, hope you're having a great day. My name is Shantell Bancroft, and designer of at the Urban Tiger. I would really love to make a designer submission. Could you please provide me with the contact name to send the email to? They didn't mention the postcard I had sent them. Just put that. About, I don't know, 15-20 minutes later, I got a response back. So I'm like, fuck, this actually worked. Cool. Gonna use this as my strategy in the future. And the email I got back was, hi Shantell, thanks for reaching out to us. Congratulations on your collection. It's not a good fit for us, but good luck placing it in the future. Something like that. And then it said thanks, and then a name. Now I don't want to G up the person or the company that got in touch with me, because I just don't think, I don't know. I don't think you should say, you know, I'm trying to build a relationship with these people. So I don't want to say specifically who I got in contact with, but it was one of the people on my list. And I was just not prepared for that. Like, I didn't know what to send back, because I was just a bit like, whoa, y'all didn't even wait. It's just like, in my head, I was just thinking, oh my God, she must have just clicked the tag and gone to the feed and based all her decisions on the feed, and she didn't even go to the website. Like, is it like, and then you start thinking things like, oh my God, is my stuff shit? Is anyone gonna like it? Should I get in touch with any more stores? Because I really thought that my stuff was a good fit for their store. So for her to say it isn't, it's just knocked me. And the other stores that I've gotten in contact with, I think I'm a good fit for their store, that my products are a good fit for their store. They're very similar in terms of their aesthetic to the one that rejected me. You know what I mean? This rejection I got from this store. And I was just like, I don't know what to say. But part of me was like, no, it's cool. You know, you're in this business. This is the business of rejection, right? And rejection, I know that rejection is, it shows that you've actually pursued something. To get a no is good. It means that you've taken action. I know that, but I'm just wavering back and forth between, oh my God, this has fucking really hurt my feelings, and wow, I got a rejection. It means that I actually like put my foot out there. I actually reached out to people, and I know that through doing this, 15 stores are now aware of my brand and they weren't before. But it still hurts, you know? It still hurts. I'm still, like, I know it's not a personal attack on me, but it's my shit, and my shit comes from me, and so I don't know. I know that this current collection is difficult for some people to be able to get their head around, but once you see it worn, all the pieces are quite cute. And I did my market research before deciding I was going to sell these items. I did my pop-up shops. I was direct to customer. I did my market research. So I know that there are people out there who enjoy the products. I'm just feeling a little bit not to be deterred though. Not to be deterred. Not to be deterred, I am moving forward. So I decided I would send a response back, and you know, my chest was burning me, but I thought, you know what, that isn't a no forever, and there's no reason why you can't hit her up with this, you know, collection that's coming out next year. There's no reason why you can't hit up another store. This collection wasn't right, but another collection might be a good fit. So I just sent another message back, and I said, hey, name of person who sent me the message, I'll just go ahead and put that submission on hold until we bring out a new collection. Thanks for the response, take care. That was it. That's what I sent back. So that's my first rejection. So yeah, it's just the way it happened, you know. It was just like, yeah, no, it's like, it's like, yeah, no, don't bother because you're not right. So, but you know, that's a positive. She didn't waste my time, you know. She basically stopped me from having to then, you know, finalize and edit this email, send it off and wait weeks, maybe not even get a response back. It was so instant, like I failed fast, which generally I like to do, but it was just, it came out of left field, and I was just a bit, you know, it thumped me. So off the back of that thing that happened, the last thing I did yesterday was go through my list of 15 and really narrow down the stores I actually want to get into. And I narrowed 15 stores down into 3. So I'm going to concentrate on 3 stores to send an email designer submission to. When I went to bed, I said to myself, you're probably feeling a little too hurt. Why don't you get over this little feeling you're feeling? Give yourself a day. Go back onto Instagram. Use the same method. Send out your message. Can I get a contact name? See how it goes. When I woke up this morning, I then said that to myself again. But when I got out of bed, I was like, fuck it. I'm going to send those things now. You got to keep moving forward. So I did. I sent that same message about needing a contact name, but this time I put in a hyperlink to the store, to the website. And unbeknownst to me, when you put a link in your DM message on Instagram, a little picture comes up which represents the website that you were linking to. And what came up was one of the new photographs of one of the new product photographs I had taken with me as a model, modeling one of my headbands, and it looked fucking good. So I'm like, if you're going to make a decision on whether or not our stuff suits your store, at least go to the website and have a look. So that link coming up looked to me even better. It's a quick link that person can go look at it, and it means that the feed is not how they judge. I'm not saying that's how that store decided I wasn't a great fit, but I feel like it was. So by putting a link, the feed is not what the buyer is going to be basing their decision on. I just want an opportunity to send out the designer submission, really. But yeah, in hindsight, that no did save me a whole heap of time, and it's changed my course of action slightly, and I've now grown, and I will continue growing. Hey, I can honestly say that I am not the same girl I was when I experience that. I'm not very far away. I still get nervous and anxious over doing things, but that definitely helped me grow, and it was a contributing factor to the next shift in my business. It really helped me to understand who I was, what my value was, and to narrow down exactly what I want my label to express, and what I want my label to be about in terms of the products that I offer. I knew it made me think about creating signature pieces, and it just did so much. It did so much. At the time, I was working on my collection of earrings, the Bathsheba collection. And it definitely made me think differently about moving forward. I just think it's so important to share these things, and yeah, I just think, yeah, mm, yeah, I just think it definitely moved things forward. I was in the middle of it, and I can tell you honestly, like, that really burned me. Like, you could see that really burned me. But I picked up the camera and I recorded it because I was like, this is juice. This is juicy shit. You're not gonna be able to express how hard this moment was for you if you don't record it right there and then. And I'm really glad that I had the courage and I allowed myself to be vulnerable on camera, because it's important for other people to see that not everything is going great. It's important, if you want to be a support system, to show the moments when things aren't going great. So now it's your turn. Now I want you to talk to me and share your knowledge and share your experience. If you are a designer, a maker, if you have a label and you're at the point where you're reaching out to retailers, or if you're at the point where you've done something similar to me, you've tried to reach out and you just got that instant reaction and it's thrown you, let me know in the comments below. Let me know how you're handling it. Let me know what you're doing to try and change your perspective on that situation. Um, yeah, I think your experience and your knowledge and your wisdom would be greatly appreciated, I think, not just by me but by all, because even though I know I've moved past that moment, I still stammer and stop and feel vulnerable in my business, and I think it's something that you just have to keep plodding forward and practicing. I don't think that you ever stop feeling vulnerable in business. I think you just find ways to change your state or rewire the way you think about things before you do the things. So I hope that video has helped someone, and I can't wait to see your comments in the comments box below. As always, if you want to see the collection that I was working on at the time of all this happening, and the collection that I am reaching out to retailers with this year in 2019, you can go over to www.theurbentiger.com. If you want to follow and connect with my brand on Instagram, it's @theUrbanTiger_. And if you want to connect with me personally, I've just rejigged my Instagram accounts. I've just turned what would have been my personal account into a public account now, and that's where you can find me. It's Shantell Bancroft. And And the name of my account is Shantell #1 fashion designer. But if you tap in Shantell Bancroft, I'll pop up. You can find me all over the internet, but those are the places where I spend most of my time. Alright guys, I'll be back with another video at some point, because there's always some shit going on that I need your help. I need to talk to you guys about. I need to share with you lot to get your perspective on things. So I'll be back here. Also, if you want to get notifications on when I'm putting up a video, because I don't put these videos up consistently, it's whenever something's going on in my business, or if I'm doing something that relates to Urban Tiger, then I'll do a video about it. But if you want to be notified, you can hit the subscribe button, of course, but also you can join a special mailing list. The link is at the top of the description box, and I will email you every time a video is about to drop, and that way you'll know when the video is dropping and what the video will be about. Okay guys, until next time, this is your week of wins. This is your week of wins. Go get it. Bye.